Hey, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop with a playthrough today of Crowbar. This is a World War II war game designed by Herman Luttman, who also designed Dawn of the Zeds, which I really enjoyed. And full disclosure, this is a review copy from Flying Pig Games. In this game, models a landing that happened kind of close to the Normandy beaches on D-Day, but by a company of 3 rangers who were both trying to take attention away from the main D-Day landing, and also destroy some guns that might have proved problematic for the combined forces of the landing. Like usual, I'm going to quickly go through setup, but I'm not going to do a how to play section separately here because this game has several kind of phases you go through. Instead, I'll explain the core rules as I get to each part. But if you want to skip setup and just go to a specific section of the game, just use the timestamps. And if you like what you see here on the One Stop Co-op Shop, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget that little bell icon or you won't actually get notifications for our videos. Listen to our podcast on Sundays, join the conversation on our Slack or Discord channels, and consider supporting us through Patreon for some nice perks. So to go through the basics of setup, the game board is divided into 3 sections, each 4 squares long, and each one kind of belonging to one of the main companies. You've got Fox on the left, Dog in the middle, and Easy on the right. And here I'm showing you all of the units that go with each of them, but they're actually going to all be underneath of their landing carriers here, so you'll just see the LCAs with all the rest of the stuff underneath. And first they're going to try to find their way to the beach, then they're going to try to scale the cliff wall with Germans firing at them the whole time. And that'll all happen before they make it to the German positions inland where the guns they need to destroy are actually located. And to go through German setup, because this is the most complicated part, first you'll see many spaces have 1 to 3 stars on them. And for those star spaces, you're going to shuffle up the 20 possible gun location tokens and put as many tokens on each space as the number of stars it shows. Then for your units, you're going to randomize the 8 machine gun tokens and put 1 on each space that has an MG for machine gun on it. You're going to put the flak gun token on its labeled space. Same thing for the command bunker. Those are both right by the beach to make it easy to find them. And finally, you're going to shuffle up all of the HKA regiments. And you're going to put them in a bunch of places. Every place that says gun emplacement, which will be most of the star spaces. The German barracks over here on the left. Any space that depicts a building, like this one right here. And then showing you the top of the board, I think these ones were left out of the rules, but they are in an errata document on Board Game Geek. You have 1 on each of these spots up here, where most of the actual guns were found in the real invasion, where they have 3 stars. You also have a separate sort of paper board here. It's going to track what time of day it is, which day it is, how close the relief column from the main D-Day landing is, and that will end the game, and then how the German counterattacks are progressing as well. You'll also put tokens over here as you lose troops and capture enemy troops and other things that can earn you victory points for the end of the game. Finally, you're going to shuffle the event deck, and then you're going to burn the top card of the deck for no effect. Ooh, this is a good one. We're going to not have to draw a 2-time card. So the rest of the deck will be ready for drawing, but you'll always have 1 card that will not be drawn until you reshuffle. And one of the final steps of setup, the artillery of our allies shells the German positions to help us try to set up our advance. So you roll 1d6. Oh, great! And you add 10 to that, so I've got 16. And you shuffle up all of these incoming fire tokens. I just have them in a bag. And you can put them on any spaces you want, although generally they'll go on German units. They'll weaken those units, and later on you might find out that that unit actually got more damage than you realized by the artillery strikes. But you can only put up to 2 tokens on a unit, and you can additionally put tokens on these spaces closest to the beach. The only reason you might want to do that is because for the entire row right next to the beach, you reveal 1 token. Even if you put 2 there, you only reveal 1. And if the token has this little crit symbol, this starburst here, then the cliff on that part of the beach collapses, and basically you're going to give your rangers a really nice, easy time climbing up it, which you'll see in a moment. So with that being the case, I'm going to spend 12 of my 16 just shelling the heck out of the cliff. I'll put an extra one on the command bunker all the way over here. When we get into combat, I'll talk about why that's important, but basically I can slow down the German counterattack if I take him out. And for my other 3, I'll still keep close to the cliff. I'll do, I think, 2 on this strongest HKA regiment. And I'll put another one on the flak gun, because that's pretty terrible. And now I'm going to reveal 1 in each space on this cliff space. Now, if it's an empty space like I just flipped and there is no star, it just does nothing. You can ignore the hit effect or anything. But here we did get a star. So we're going to put a firm hold token right here in between the cliff top and the beach to show that's going to be very easy for the rangers to climb. Alright, the flak gun didn't collapse the cliff, but I did pin them, which means they won't be able to fire at me, and the other one hangs out on them. And wow, all of these were misses or nothing for the cliffside. Ooh, but a very nice result for my 1 of 2 on the command bunker. It got hit, and for German units, the first hit will flip them to their lower strength side, the second hit removes them altogether. But then with the star, I also get a firm hold there. And by the way, whenever you use one of these tokens, or the event chits you'll see later, they go back to your supply, and you can draw them again. Now, one more quick note about the playthrough and how I'll be playing it component-wise. Generally speaking, you'll have at most 1 unit in a space, either a German defender or one of your ranger units. But you can also have a commander with a ranger. You can also have little markers for damage and other effects, like them being pinned. You also have their rally point that marks whether they've been activated for the turn, and that can also be on the same space. And hey, some of your units also have to hold supplies for the group. And if you're not seeing on your own the point I'm trying to make, sometimes the fairly small spaces can get cluttered with tokens. So through the magic of substitution, and with a kind loaner from Cuba Libre, one of my coin games, I'm going to be using these red tokens to mark when a company is activated and where their rally point is. These 3 yellow tokens will be my company commanders, and this green token will be my main battalion commander. So that way we won't clutter up the spaces as much, but these are not in the game, but I do recommend subbing in your own tokens if you get the game, because you'll find pretty quickly otherwise that things get very crowded. Alright, so let's get to our actual invasion. So the core mechanic of Crowbar is that you use these 4 differently colored dice, which have different chances of advancing your units, and generally your units stay in a single column and just kind of push forward, but you have to keep them protected, have them support each other, just kind of fight tactically to survive. And these dice are basically in a push your luck system, where you can keep on rolling more of them, but as you go from green to yellow to red to black, both the reward and the risk becomes greater as you try to push forward. But at the very beginning of the game, you ignore all of that, and you just do this automatic C movement phase. And how it works is you pick one company. Let's just go left to right here, keep it simple. I'll pick Fox, and I roll all 4 dice. And what I have to do here is I have to assign each die to a different one of my 4 LCAs. An advanced result with a single dot means that boat's going to move 3 spaces, basically be right in front of the beach. But this basic hit here, the one that's filled in, you'll also see a variable hits. Let's see, where are they? There we go, you'll also see those. But for a basic hit, I'm just taking 1 damage on the unit being carried by the LCA. Most of my units start with 10, then they go down to 9 strength points if they take a damage. And then to make them go down more, you just replace them with a lower number. You have these for all of your companies. Makes it pretty easy. I also got some pretty cruddy results. This one means the boat will just move 1 space, and this is the worst one. That's the route die result. That means the boat won't move at all, and it'll get a shaken token, which means it might get lost at sea for a while. So to help my considerations a bit, you'll see that the 3rd and 4th columns are kind of most important in terms of fighting Germans. But something else to consider for Fox Company, my commander is on this leftmost boat, and then my weakest unit, my support, which also has the company's supplies, is on the 3rd boat. So yeah, I think I'll have the 2 that are going to fight the most move pretty quickly. I'll have the commander move a little bit, and have the only person who doesn't have much opposition and isn't special kind of be lost. So we can resolve those in any order. Put a little shaken result on the boat here to show things aren't going so well. And again, for these last 2 guys, I'm going to flip them to 1 lower strength before they dart on up toward the beach. Okay, we do the same for Dog Company. Definitely a lot better this time. So this one with 2 dots above the advance arrow means that I get all the way to the beach immediately, although the variable hit symbol, this unfilled in one, means we take 2 hits, so we'll be down to 8 strength. This unit's our commander, so we'll definitely have that happen with them. We have another one that can dash straight up. I'm not going to do it to my support because they're weaker anyway, so I'll have the support just go up safely 3 spaces. And then this, like the other one, will just be 1 space. These guys, again, don't have as many Germans in front of them to contend with. And a quick note that you can sometimes heal your units back up, but units that start with 10 can never heal above 8 again. So once I go down, like I am here, to 8 strength, I can just get rid of these 10s back in the game box. And when a unit first reaches the beach, a few things happen. Their LCA is gone. Clearly they're not on the boat anymore. So in this actual assault, the landing craft were outfitted with grappling hooks that were supposed to shoot up to the cliffside and help the Rangers climb. But they worked terribly in the actual invasion. So you roll 2d6, but if you don't get a 9 or higher, these have no effect and don't establish a hold for your units at all. So let's check for the left one first. Oh, wow. So even with that unusually good roll, I still only get a shaky hold. For a firm hold, I would have needed a natural 12. But I don't mind that at all. Nice. And yeah, nothing like usually expected for my other dog unit. Oh, and let's do what I said I was going to do and get our commander in there, get rid of this token so we can see him easily. Alright, Dog did much better than Fox. Let's see how easy does. Ooh, this is the best possible result. That'll get me right to the beach, and you ignore any G's or R's that show up, so that's not going to hurt us. And 2 3 moves with only 1 damage. Excellent. And then just 1 1 move. So really I only had 1 ranger unit that really got a bad result. Well, I'm definitely going to give the big advance to these guys, because they're the ones that are going to charge right into that injured command bunker. They already have a firm hold. They will rock this the first turn, hopefully. And then the support unit here has my battalion commander. I want to get him on land as quickly as possible. And then for the other 2, they're both facing nasty machine guns. Guess I'll leave the middle a little bit weaker because Dog did pretty well. And we don't need to roll a grappling hook for this boat because we've already got the best hold possible. And with that, we're done this initial incursion in the game, and the rest is going to follow the more normal turn structure. So to quickly explain how a regular turn will go, we'll pick one of our 3 companies, and then within that company, we'll pick one of our units, and we'll make it the currently active unit, although once again, I'm going to use something else so I don't have a token overload on the board. And that unit will then start rolling 1 die at a time, or they can choose, instead of rolling a die, to consolidate and basically rest, giving them some options. We'll see that pretty soon. But a key thing for all my units right now is until they've either gone through all 4 of the dice, or they've been forced to stop their activation early, they cannot stop rolling until they are over the beach, up the cliff, and into enemy territory. So in this case, we are definitely going to start with easy because the command bunker can majorly affect some of the event cards we can be drawing very quickly. So if we can take that out immediately, it'll be huge for us. And to quickly go through the most common die results, an advance will give you as many advances to spend as the number of dots. So most will have 1, but you can sometimes see 2 or even 3. And you can save up your advances, but the most normal way to use them is 1 advance will move you 1 space up, although terrain and obstacles can change that. So for example, if we didn't have any hold here, it would cost 3 advances to climb the cliff. With a shaky hold, it costs 2, and with a firm hold like they have there, it'll cost 1. But additionally, if you're advancing into an enemy-held structure, like this command bunker here, or a building that we saw earlier, you'll also need to spend an extra advance. And if you're crossing a difficult space side, like this barbed wire here, that'll also cost an extra advance. So lots of ways that you need to save up advances to move forward. But you can also use advances for special actions, like firing at someone adjacent to you to try to soften them up before you charge into their space. But in any case, let's go ahead and see if easy can take out the command bunker. We'll start with the green activation die. It's the least likely to give us a lot of advances, but it's also the safest. And here we got a very common result on the green die. That is the symbol for drawing an event card. Now, any unit with or adjacent to a commander on land, they can't do anything on boats, can exhaust the commander for the entire turn to let you reroll a movement die. But this one isn't quite bad enough for me to do that. So I draw the top card of the event deck. In this case, it's a good one for us, relief column advances. And that basically means that our friends in the main invasion and D-Day advance 1 space. When they reach this space, the game ends. The game also ends at the end of the day on June 8th. But that's a negative way that'll lose you victory points. You want to get the relief column all the way if you can. Now remember, I have to keep rolling because I'm not on land yet. If I was, I could choose to stop. But I'll also have to stop if I get one of these little stop signs, stop activation symbols. So that's one of the worst things I can roll. Let's try yellow next. So I got 1 advance, which is not enough yet to move into the bunker space, because remember I need 1 to climb up the cliff with the firm hold, but an extra 1 because of the bunker there. But after I decide to spend this advance or save it, I'm going to save it. I then get to draw a ranger chip. This is good for me. So you have this whole big collection of chips. They're double-sided, German and ranger, and whenever you draw one, it'll be either an R or a G, and you'll get either a benefit or a penalty for it. So in my case, I got a nice one, Rangers Forward, for Dog Company specifically. And that means I can pick any of the units in Dog Company and either move them 2 spaces forward if there's nothing in their way, no enemies, no obstacles, anything like that. Or only 1 space forward if there is stuff in their way, but I could, for example, move Dog like straight up the cliff with this event. But for now, let's keep things balanced and move up my 1 unit that got a little lost 2 spaces, get them almost to the beach. Oh, don't forget, I'm saving the 1 advance I rolled. Now I'm going to go for red, see if I can get the other one. Now another commander ability is to flip themselves to decrease the cost to go into an obstacle space by 1, so I could actually advance right now, but I'd rather save my commander for something else and see... Oh no! So that is a shaken result. It won't help me at all, and it'll sit on that unit and make them much weaker for this turn. But again, it didn't stop my activation, so I'll keep it and save my commander to maybe reroll the black die if it turns up badly. And that would be terrible. That would be a rout. So we are going to exhaust my commander and try again. There we go. So that's 2 advances, actually 1 more than I needed, but then I'll draw a German chit at the end of resolving this die. So my commander is flipped. And now I've got 3 advances, but the second I enter close combat, I lose any extra ones left over. So I'm going to spend 1 to shoot up in these guys, which is called Hasty Fire. And then I'll use the other 2 to actually charge into combat. Now basically every combat in this game, whether it's close combat, moving into somebody's space, or range combat, uses the same calculation. You take the current strength value, you divide it in half, round up, and that's how many dice you roll. So with them having 10 strength, I'm just rolling 5. And for Hasty Fire, which again just costs you 1 advance, you can shoot at any adjacent unit, but when you're shooting up the cliff face, you can only shoot at the one in the same column, so I can't shoot at this machine gun, for example. And each 5 or 6 I get will put another incoming fire on that command structure, potentially blowing it up. So let's see how we do. And absolutely nothing. So we are going to charge up the cliffside into close combat, and the firm token can be taken away because you will never have to go back down the cliff, you just fight to the death at that point. And we might get into close combat in a moment, but first, if you ever charge into someone with 1 or more incoming fire tokens, you flip it and see how it did. And in this case, it is a miss. We are going to have to fight this guy. So the bunker is a 2 and I'm a 10, but there are modifiers. So I'm going to start with 5 dice, and they're going to start with 1, again, half rounded up. But if the German's in a defensive structure, which they are, they get another 1. If I charged up a cliff face, which I did, they get another 1. And if I'm shaken, which I am, I lose 1. So it's actually much closer than I would like. So I can roll these all at once. And this is great for me. So to quickly go through the results, each 5 becomes a half hit rounded down. So one of them does nothing, but 2 will actually either lower your ranger down by 1 point, or again flip or destroy a German unit. Each 6 is a whole hit by itself, so I totally destroyed these guys. But then if neither side dies, you then look at 4s. And whichever side got more 4s forces the other unit to retreat away that many spaces, the difference between the 4s. So if it had been like this, me having 2 4s and them having 1, I would have had 1 more, so the command bunker would have retreated 1 space away from me, but would have still been alive. But in this case, I wiped them out totally. And whenever you defeat German units in close combat, you actually get victory points for it because you're supposed to have captured some of them and can get some intelligence from them. And you get more victory points if you defeat them when they're at full strength. But the bunker was already hurt, so it goes in this little half-strength reduced space where I get fewer victory points for it. Alright, a few other things happen. Because I'm up the cliff now, my rally point automatically comes to the same space as me. Now, we'll see how rally points matter more later. But basically, the further you get away from them, the more likely you are to be hurt by German fire and other events. Now, I'm also ending my activation because I went through all 4 dice. I can't do anything anymore anyway, so I'm going to flip that down to show I've acted. And nice little bonus, if you manage to go through all 4 dice colors without ever ending your activation, you get to get rid of all of your shaken or pinned tokens because your soldiers feel accomplished. So that was a fantastic start for easy. Let's see how the other units do. I'm going to activate the next one here because they'll have an easier time in close combat if a friendly unit is adjacent to the Germans. I might as well start with green again, another event. And this worked out well. German counterattack cards will move the German counterattack token on the track, and whenever it reaches the end, a bunch more Germans spawn. But look here, if I capture the command bunker, which I literally just did, it only moves 1 instead of 2 here, so drastically slowing it down. And here you go, just to show you what I'm talking about. There are up to 4 German counterattacks. When you have the first one, you flip it over, and each one's going to target a different company, putting new grenadier units and machine guns down. So green didn't do anything for us. Let's try yellow. Darn it. Another single German counterattack. Alright, I can't stop until I get on the cliff. Oof, a bad result. That's another event, and we have to stop our activation. We never even get to roll the black die over here. And here's our final type of event card, time increment. So it's going to tick up 1 since the card said 1. Basically, it goes up whenever it gets into these blue spaces where at nighttime, where line of sight is diminished. And when it gets to the end of the track, the day advances 1. The further the day advances, the fewer victory points we get for finding the guns, because we're not really helping the D-Day invasion. And like I already said, if you get to here on day 3, June 8th, then the game ends and usually costs you a lot of victory points. So cruddy result here, and they don't actually have a rally point yet, so I just flip this activation token down here. Let's see if our support with our battalion commander can do better. There we go, 1 advance. That'll get them to the beach. And again, I'm subbing in a green counter for our battalion commander, so there he is. And each of the support units is carrying our supplies, which won't matter too much until later in the game, you'll see. We get an immediate cruddy boat grappling. No, sir, those are 1s, by the way. So we gotta keep on trying to do stuff on our own. Okay, not bad. 1 damage, which we do immediately, but then we have 1 advance. Another action you can do only when on the beach for 1 advance is you can have your units shoot their own grappling hooks, which were like attached to rockets and stuff. And those worked great, so almost any roll will get you a pretty good hold. In this case, 10, more than enough for a firm hold. But they still need at least one more advance to get up there. Let's try red. Perfect. So they're down to 3 life. We're going to fix that in a second. They get up here with the supplies and the commander. And again, the firm hold goes away. And their rally point moves up with them. And an option that is only available once you're actually on the inland spaces. Instead of rolling a die, as long as you have 1 left, you can choose to consolidate. You have several options. You can get rid of any pinned or shaken tokens you have. If your rally point is behind your unit, you can choose to move it up as an option. But a really good one for them here is if you're on your rally point, you can kind of get your soldiers organized after they've got up the beach and heal yourself 2 strength. So that's going to get these guys back up to 5. But remember, your regular units can't go above 8, and your support units can't go above their starting 6. Alright, so they are done. Our commander didn't go yet, but I'll show you why in a second. It's good to not have him go most of the time. So our last unit is this LCA back here. Okay, green, 1, yellow, 1 and a ranger chit, nice. Oh, and awesome, it's another Rangers forward for Fox Company. And I have kind of a tough choice here. These shaken guys, if they get another shaken result, they're going to go all the way back to the beginning. Basically, their boat gets lost. Which means I probably want to give them the 2, but then if they get messed up, they'll waste it. But yeah, I don't want them to be gone forever. All right, these guys are still going. Can they get their last result? Oh, they're shaken. All right, come on, come on, come on. Ooh, wow, 3 advances, although they take 1 damage. That is awesome. So first they have to go onto the beach, of course, roll for their grappling hook. And, oh wow, they actually got a shaky hold. Which means they have enough to charge up there, because even though there's a machine gun, there is no structure, so they don't have to pay anything extra. They just need 2 advances, 2 out of the 3 that they rolled, to charge in. Now, they are still shaken for this close combat, but like the other unit, because they rolled all 4 dice, they will not be in a moment. Quick note about machine guns, they have 2 strength values. The lower one is what they use for close combat. They're great at shooting you, but once you reach their position, they are out of luck. So I can have 5 dice, 9 divided by 2, rounded up. And if the total strength of adjacent friendly units is at least equal to or higher than their strength, I get another die, so easy over here is going to give me +1. And then I'm -1 from the shaken, so 5 overall. And the Germans have 1 die, +1 because I charge over the cliff. Oh, another good result. So I'm going to damage them. I won't defeat them entirely. They'll damage me 1, and then they're going to run away 2 spaces. And if a retreat space is occupied like it is here, they'll just keep on running. Once again, they get rid of the shaken from rolling all 4 dice, and their rally point moves up. But they cannot choose to consolidate and heal, not that they'd be able to anyway, because they used all 4 dice. You have to have 1 left to make that option. So man, oh man, easy, cleaned up. Let's see if a dog can do as well. So because of the whole supporting fire and adjacency thing, I like to move guys like this first so they can get next to other units and help those guys charge up the cliff. So let's go green. 1 advance. They'll use it to shoot a grappling hook. And again, you didn't need that much, but that's a firm hold. So he only needs 1 more advance to climb up there. There we go, and a ranger chit, wow. In this case, it's naval support fire from the Taliban. I'll pick one of the areas on the board. You'll see they're differently shaded and they each have a letter designation. And I roll a 1d6. On a 6, nothing happens. On a 1 through 4, I get to place that many of those incoming fire tokens on people of my choice in there. And if I roll a 5, the fire drifts in a random direction and might even hurt my own units. So yeah, let's go right where we are, try to hurt these guys. And I got a 1, so it's just 1 token. My support unit is coming up here. Remember, they have less strength, so let's put it on that machine gunner. And this guy could still roll the red or the black die, but instead I'm going to consolidate. They can't heal above 8. But as long as Rudder from Easy Company has made it to land, and he has, I can spend a consolidation to place Rudder's HQ. It's going to stay over here unless the Germans overrun that position. And that'll mean that I am eligible to use some really powerful event chits that I might pull in the future. Alright, so they're done activating. I'm going to try to do this one next. You'll see why. I want to get some kind of combined fire going. Okay, yellow. Yes! I'm rolling great. Their boat's grappling hook. Nope. So I think I said yellow when I rolled a green. Now I'm rolling yellow. Oh my gosh. Okay, they'll spend that to shoot up their own grappling hook. And even 7 is enough for a firm hold. My ranger chit is reinforcements for Dog Company. And this is one of those ones that only works if I have my HQ, so that worked out well. And basically lets me spread 3 strength points of healing among people in Dog Company, but only if they've landed, not if they're still on the boats. So here that won't help me at all, because none of them are under 8, which again is their new maximum. Well, let's go red, try to get up that cliff. Nice, 2, but then we'll draw a German chit. So let's see, he'll go 1, and he'll actually move again. So his rally point stays behind. We only get that free placement when we first go up the cliff. Then we're drawing a German chit. Ooh, mines. So there's some parts of the board labeled and illustrated with minefields. You'll see some over here. If we had people there, they'd take an attack automatically, but we're fine. All right, I could roll the black die, but that seems like a silly chance to take. So one of my consolidation options is just to move my rally point up, because again, having it as close as possible to me gives me the option to heal later and also protects me from negative attacks. All right, before I have either of these guys go, in between any activation, you can flip a commander to have all of the units on land in that company open fire on enemies near them. And how open fire works, it's the last kind of attack. You can shoot more than adjacent, but you have to have a clear line of sight, not going through any forests or buildings or other units. You still do half your strength rounded up for the number of dice you're rolling, but if they're in protected terrain, it's -1 die, and it's also -1 die for each space of range you have to fire. And once again, people on the beach can only shoot at the people above them. So we can do this in any order. Let's have dogs shoot at the only person they can. Once again, 5s are half hits, although they hang around for the entire open fire attack, so if somebody else opens fire and also gets a 5, it can still add up to a full hit. 6s are full hits, but 4s are pins, which will prevent the Germans from firing at us, which some events would allow them to do, and will also weaken them in close combat. So shooting at these guys, 3 dice, nothing. Well, if these guys shoot at them, and a half hit, which isn't going to help because nobody else can get a shot on them. And then finally, the active unit, they'll shoot at the guys right here that the support is going to come and fight. So you got 5, -1 for range because diagonal counts is 4 dice. Ooh, nice, 1 hit. So these machine gunners are flipped. But we do not reveal this incoming fire until we either move into close combat, or that's another 1 advanced special action. If somebody's next to them, you can spend an advance to find out how hurt they actually are. Alright, so that was between activations. Let's go ahead and have these guys try to climb first. So with their shaky hold, they'll need 2 advances. There's 1 of them. They'll just hang on to that. And wow, there's the other one. So after close combat, we're going to draw a German chit. I promise you, this is unusually good luck. Alright, so I've got 8 divided by 2 is 4, plus 1 for my buddy right there. I got 5 dice. And then they would normally have 1, 2 divided by 2. But because I charged up the cliff, they have 2 dice. Alright, so no damage for either of us. They got 1, 4, and I got 2, so they only retreat a single space, the difference. So not an amazing result, and they actually go into a casement, which is going to be defensive terrain for them. I don't love that. But at least I got up on the beach safely. And you know what the hey, there's no consolidate action I can do to help myself, so let's just go ahead and roll the black die. So that was a rout, the worst thing I could have rolled. First, I take as many hits as the distance between me and my rally point, which is 0 right now, but it's always minimum 1, so I'm taking 1 damage. I automatically go backwards to my rally point, but I'm already there, and my activation immediately stops. Plus the real injury, I get a shaken result, and since I didn't end my activation successfully, I had a stop activation result from that route. I don't get the free getting rid of that token because I used all 4 dice. Alright, and last for Dog Company, here we go. Let's get on that beach. There we go, just 1 damage. And their grappling hook. Nope, not enough. Alright, another damage, but we can do a grappling roll. 7, enough for a firm. And we gotta keep going. Oh, nice. So 1 that will get them. Yeah, there's no covering terrain there, so they'll get in there. And then we'll get a ranger chit. Ooh, I think we were supposed to draw a German chit earlier. Let's just do it now. Okay, so German patrols for Dog Company. What that means is we find the furthest advanced Dog Company unit, which is this guy. And we take a German Grenadiers unit randomly. They're pretty strong generally, and put them in the closest empty space. Alright, but let's not forget after we charge into close combat, we are going to get a ranger chit now. Alright, they're pretty weak. Let's hope this incoming fire can just kill them. And yes, it does! Since they were already flipped, they are just dead, but since we didn't capture them in close combat, they had already been blown up and we just didn't realize it, we don't get to put them in our victory point. Alright, and they are up here. We get our ranger chit. We found cover, smoke. So we get to put this on any ranger inland, and it'll just make any attack against them at -2 SP. Let's put it on these guys since they're pretty surrounded now. And alright, these guys still could roll a black die, but they're going to consolidate and heal back up to 6, their max. And that's it for Dog's first turn. Alright, now coming over to my more troubled unit over here. Just to get it over with, let's see if this shaken guy can get anywhere. And again, a rout result at this point would send him all the way back. But that's only on the black die, so let's see if the green and yellow can get us to the beach. Oh, green's not going to help, that's an event. 1 time. Come on, yellow die. Oh no! The clock is ticking. Come on, red die, help me out. Okay, 1 and a damage. That's good, but the black die could still ruin everything. Let's see. Okay, this is okay. It's not great. It's another event, and they have to stop moving. And that means they didn't complete their activation successfully, so they keep the shaken. But at least they didn't rout back, and I'll have all the dice next round to get ahead. And it's another 1 German counterattack. Let's do my other kind of less important one before I get to the big ones. Okay, 1. And stop activation, really? Okay, we're just done. All right, and once again, because this unit actually has an enemy in front of them, I'm going to have the support move up first and try to get some flanking fire on them. All right, 1 and a damage. Gets them down to 4, but they are on the beach. And grappling hook. Nope, 7's not enough. And, wow, man, all right, they're done as well. All right, come on, Fox, get something going here. Green, nice. On the beach, grappling hook. Ooh, yes, shaky hold. So I need 2 to get up there. Oh, and there they are, but with a variable hit on the beach, that's going to be 2 damage automatically, so they're down to 7. Remember, the shaky hold is 2 advances by itself, but the flak gun does not count as being in protected terrain, so we can discharge straight up there. The flak gun is pinned, which is going to take a die away, but first let's see if it got hurt. And it did not, it was a miss. Now sadly, shaken or pin units can't give support for the bonus die. So I've just got my basic 4 here. There are 2 in close combat, so that would be 1. Pin would take them down to 0, and you can have 0, but they'll get 1 back for the cliff. And these guys are not strong enough to equal my strength, so it'll just be 4 to 1. Ooh, very nice. I take them out straight up, and they do nothing to me. And because they were full strength, I'm going to get more victory points for that. And let's see, they could go for red or black, but let's not push our chances. We'll consolidate back up to 8. They could have gained 2, but again, 8 is their limit. So there you go. That is the entire first round of Crowbar. You can see we haven't all made it up to land yet. And the end of each round is pretty simple. You move the time up 1 automatically. And then you'll remember I didn't use my battalion commander, and the reason is if you haven't used him, you can choose to increase the relief column by 1 as he kind of radios in reinforcements. Then all my units flip back over their activation tokens, so they're ready for next round. Any German units that are pinned become unpinned automatically, but that does not happen for your guys. That's another thing you can spend 1 advance for, to discard a shaken or pinned token. And finally, all of my commanders, at least the ones on the map, become unexhausted again. And they can be freely put with any of the guys in their company that are on the map. So for dog, I think I'll go with the shaken guy. For easy, I can't help them out, unfortunately. So let's go with these guys. They're kind of the most in the action. And the battalion commander can go with anybody. And it seems like maybe Fox might need a little bit of help. And with that, we're ready for round 2, so let's get to it. Generally speaking, I like to activate the company that's in the most danger because the German chits can cause them to counterattack, and I want to take out their possibility of doing that. So let's have a dog company go first. And I think now that all of dog is on the board, it makes sense to go ahead before we activate and do some open fire command from the commander. Shaken units can shoot, but they get -1 die. And this guy's now in protected terrain. So they would have been 4, but they'll be down to 1. -1 for shaken, -1 for protected, -1 for the range. So certainly not a good chance, but hey, anything's possible. Oh! You are damaged? And with that happening, heck yes, let's have these guys fire at them too. They'll be 2 dice. And nothing doing. Okay, these guys can really only see them. And they are in protective terrain. So that'll be from 3 down to 1. Oh my gosh. So they have 2 incoming fire that we haven't seen yet, but they're also injured now, so good chance those guys will just die the second I move into their space. And with that good result, let's have my 10 unit here fire at the grenadiers that popped up. They have no defense, so it's just -1 for the range. Ah, they're going to be pinned. That helps. Now for actual activation, something I didn't talk about yet is while you get a 1 die bonus if somebody's adjacent to the enemy you're fighting with at least as much strength in total. But you get a 2nd die if at least one of those supporting units is behind them 1 row. That's called the flanking bonus. So with that in mind, let's have these guys try to charge up, take those guys out, and then give nice bonuses to both of them. All right, green. And advance with the ranger chit. Nice. And we just leave Rotor's HQ. And don't forget we also leave our rally point until we consolidate, not spending a die to bring it up with us. Oh, it's more reinforcements for easy. The only unit that can hold anymore that's actually on the land is this one, so we'll get them up to 6. All right, we need 2 to get in there because of a gun emplacement. Or, darn it, we just stop the activation. So they don't get to consolidate, they don't get to bring up their rally point, they just stay where they are. All right, next let's have our shaken unit give it a try. Remember, 1 advance can be spent to get rid of that if I want to. Ah, come on. 1 time, we are at 6, so about 1/3 of the way through the first day. No! Okay, so they have to stop activation as well. The commander isn't there, or I mean he's there, but already used. Which means they don't get rid of their shaken again. Yikes. Alright, let's have these guys move. We're actually... Yeah, I guess if these guys take out the grenadiers, then they can support them with the flanking bonus. Alright, come on, show 'em how it's done! 1 advance, which is enough because they're not on terrain, and the smoke just goes away when you move out of it. Now, they have no support. There's no terrain, so this is just a straight-up fight. They're a 5. They would be a 2, but the pin will make them a 1. Oh my gosh, I think that's 3 hits, and the retreat does nothing because they're not alive anymore. And again, that's a full strength capture. Nice. Now, they could keep going, but then I'd lose my nice extra bonus here. So we're going to try to get an advance and do some hasty fire on somebody. There we go, and a ranger's hit. So I can choose 1 adjacent to put some of those incoming fire tokens on. Let's pick this HKA regiment. Remember, no modifiers here. You just roll your full dice allotment, and for every 5 or 6, you place a token. Nice. My ranger token, what is up with these reinforcements? Fox Company gets 3. And only 2 of them have landed, but hey, one of them is down 2 strength, so we'll take it. All right, he'll definitely stop here and just bring up his rally point. Last one, let's see if these guys can charge in. And we could actually spend 1 advance to check all the incoming fires and resolve them, because if the guy is dead completely, we don't need the 1 extra advance to get into the gun emplacement. But whatever, we can just try it here. All right, so we got 1 advance with the damage. So we're down to 5, and we'll save it to charge in. Oh, and nice. The second one, and we got a ranger chit waiting. So we are going to charge in. Let's see. This guy is pinned and damaged. So when we go into close combat, we reveal these. In this case, we got dummy guns, which just go away. And an ammo dump destroyed is not worth as many victory points as the guns, but if we capture the space, it will be worth victory points. And technically, the critical hit in this case would let us destroy one of these for free, but whatever. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So this guy is... Oh, he's damaged, so he's already dead. So we just go in there for free. We didn't even need the extra movement. We just didn't realize it. But since he was blown up ahead of time, we don't technically capture him. We charge into the bunker and nobody's there. But we do destroy an ammo dump, and because it's day 1, this goes on the day 1 part of the track, and it's worth more victory points. So the more stuff you get done in the first day, the better it is. You know what? Hey, they're not in too much danger. Nobody's in front of them. Let's go ahead and go again. Okay, a variable hit and 2 advances. Let me explain the variable hit. So now that we're on land, how it works is we see if anybody can shoot us nearby within 2 spaces. And if so, if it's a machine gun, then we take 1 damage for every space between us and our rally point. That's why charging way ahead is terrible for you. But if it's just like a regular unit, that's the only one who has line of sight here, the machine gun can't see through them, then you only take half the range between you. But it's always minimum 1 damage. So we'll go down to 4 life here. And then sure, we'll just charge in. Again, you don't have to pay extra for buildings if they're not occupied. And then instead of rolling black for their consolidation, they'll protect themselves by bringing that up. We can leave the supplies behind. They basically let us use some of the event chits that come out for free fire attacks. And if they get captured, it's bad for us, but that only happens if a German moves into them, so by leaving them way back, we should be good to go. All right, so Dog made some good progress. We've got some good flanking ready for next time. Easy seems like the most important now, so let's do them. Looks like our most important one charge forward for there, especially since Dog is supporting them. Okay, 1 and a damage. So they're up there with 7. And they'll need 2 to get in there, although they could use the commander to reduce it to 1. Let's see what they roll. They did get 1 and a damage. So yeah, you know what? I am going to use the commander to make it only 1 advance to get in there so they can get into close combat. So first we'll see what their guns are. Dummy guns and rubble, that's worth nothing. Then we'll see what their incoming fire was. A whole bunch of nothing. So we're just fighting this 2-strength, full-strength guy. We've got 3 dice plus 1 from our friend. They've got 1 die plus 1 from being in good terrain. And, okay, they didn't hit us at all. We hit them once, and we got 1 more retreat than them. If it had tied, the defender always wins. We would have had to go back. So he's hurt. He would retreat 1. There's no space. He'll go back 2. What the hey? Let's live dangerously and go for it. Ooh, 2 advances and then a German chit. Now, remember, they lose all their advances if they go into close combat, so they can't charge forward twice. So let's actually give fire to these guys over here guarding that bunker and then charge into the machine gun. And good. We got 1. And then we'll go fight. They're 4 dice again, because these guys are supporting them. And supporting the Germans is a total of 3 strength, not enough to give them a bonus. So they'll be only 1, because they don't have any defensive terrain. Oh, yes! They were already hurt, so 1 was enough. They are done. All right, they'll certainly stop there and consolidate, bring up their rally point. You know, before I move these guys, let's see if we can get them up finally. 1 advance. They're on the beach, yay. Grappling hook, no. And yellow. Okay, they're taking 2 damage from the variable hit and then 2 advances. So first they'll try for the grappling hook. Got a firm hold. And with it they will charge up on that machine gunner. So 3.5 rounded up is 2. Plus 1 from them charging up the cliff. And I've got 4 plus 1 from either of my supporters, really. Oh! So in this case nobody was damaged and nobody had the most retreat results. Which normally would mean the defender wins and you go back where you came from. But since we can't go back down the cliff, we just take 1 damage and we fight again. Which does mean with me going down to 6, I'm down a die. Come on. Okay, they hurt me 1, but I defeat them entirely. Awesome. All right, with them taking quite a bit of damage, they're certainly going to consolidate and heal too. So Easy and Dog doing pretty awesome. Let's have these guys charge up next and try to capture those guns. An event. 2 more time. Ooh, and then stop activation. Darn it. So they did not get much of anywhere. Only one left is our Big 10 group here. And they have pretty clear sailing until they get to the road, so they really just want to support the other guys. But they do have barbed wire here that'll make them pay an extra advance to advance past it. An event again. 1 time, we're getting pretty close to night. 1 on a ranger, nice. Oh, we get a heroic action. This goes on any ranger we want, and basically it's kind of like a super commander. Can let them reroll a movement die once, or give them +2 in a combat roll. So yeah, let's give it to our silly shaken guys over here. What the hey, let's try to give her the barbed wire. Let's roll the red. 1 and a ranger shit is not enough. We'll save the 1. Okay, mortar support fire on Dog Company's position. This one also only works if the commander's HQ is set up, which it is. And we pick any of Dog's areas, and every German in the space gets an incoming fire token. But oddly, we've taken out most of them, so we'll just do 1 here and here, I guess. And that leaves us over here with 1 advance saved. Let's go for it. No, don't rout! So they take 1 damage for each space between them. Luckily, they weren't too far. They have to run back to there, and they get a shaken token. I've got to say, that was not worth it. All right, and then sad little Fox Company over here. Let's get our shaken friends. Come on. Yes, they advance, which means they cannot go back into the ocean. So now they actually have the opportunity to spend an advance to get rid of that, although if they get an advance, they're just going to go up the cliffside and then probably rest. And there we go, 1 damage in advance. So they're at 8, they're up there, their rally point moves with them. And they'll go ahead and spend their consolidation instead of rolling red and black to get rid of the shaken. And let's just see how our other boat is doing. Alright, green, advance, yes. And then stop. Okay, well, they're almost there. And I'm actually going to have these guys go before where my commander is, because theoretically these guys could do amazingly and charge all the way up there. An event, another time. 1 in a German shit. Oh, an unexpected obstacle for Easy Company. That means the most advanced person in Easy will get an obstacle in front of them, so now it'll take an extra advance to move in there. Oh, what the hey, let's go for a red die. Okay, an event and step activation. Ah, well. Ooh, 2 spaces of counterattack, which means we're only 2 away from it going off. And not a ton of success here. Let's see if these guys can get up the cliff at least. Alright, green. Nice, they get a advance and a ranger. Let's shoot a grappling hook up there. Oh no, that's only enough for a shaky hold. But we get a French resistance cell. This basically tells us what one of the gun tokens is of our choice. I generally use the first one I roll to get this random one all the way up here. And it is a captured officer opportunity. Again, worth some victory points, but not as much as guns, so I'll probably ignore it. Let's roll a yellow and try to scale that. 1 and an R again. I'm going to save it and then roll the red to try to get up. But the Ranger token is open fire for Dog Company, low ammo, 7th or 8th. If it was June 7th or 8th, it's not. We would have to flip our supply token for the round. It comes back at the end of the round, or we would not hit as well with this open fire attack. All right, so let's see. Some guys in Dog don't have a ton of options on who to shoot at. This guy can see to them or them. Oh, no, that's me, isn't it? Yeah, whoops, I put on the wrong guy. So yeah, they'll shoot at them. So it's 5, -2 for the range, -1 for the terrain. Just pins them. Pretty much won't matter, because that goes away for Germans at the end of the round. These guys will shoot up at them. They're 4, -1 for the terrain, -1 for the range, -1 for being shaken, so they're just 1 again. Ooh, a half hit. Let's have these guys shoot as well then. They've got 2 dice. Oh, nice! So that adds up to 1.5, so they are actually just taken out. And then finally, these guys can't fire effectively at all. They would only roll 2 dice, -1 for the range, -1 for the terrain, nothing. All right, back to these guys. They have 1 advanced save. They need another one. That'll do it and actually give them another one, but they do take 2 damage. They're down to 4. So they have 1 advance left. But with barbed wire in front of them and them being able to heal here, they'll just stop, consolidate, and get back up to 6. That's the end of another round, but note again I didn't use Commander Rudder, so I'm going to be able to advance my relief column track. And to show you, we're almost to night. Night is going to limit all range fire to only 1 space. And then Germans also get +1 to close combat if they're charging into me, because they know the terrain better. And you know what the heck, I'm going to have Fox go first, because I just want to get my boat done so I can just film the front of the board from now on. All right, you can do it, buddy. I believe in you. Yes, one and a ranger. Yeah, it means my final commander is finally on the board. I got reinforcements for easy. That'll be a pretty easy choice. I'm going to bring them back up to 8, and the last one I'll get these guys to 8 as well. Nice. But back over here, free grapple attempt. No. Climb that cliff. Okay, 1 and a damage. Let's go for the better grapples. There we go. Last time we'll need to worry about one of those tokens. And can they climb? Yes, they can after taking 2 damage. They've actually got 1 more, so let's keep on going since they don't really need to heal that much. Hey, nothing's really in their way. Let's go crazy and go for it. Okay, 2 more, and then a German chit, so boom, boom, yes. Oh no, they should have slowed down. They're charging right into a minefield. But honestly, the mines are surprisingly weak. It's only a single die attack, half damage, which does nothing. Okay. Although because they used all 4 of the dice, their rally point does stay back here, so they are in a lot of trouble if they don't kind of go back later. The commander didn't get used, so we could actually have them open fire. Oh, I didn't even move my commanders at all, did I? Well, I guess they'll just stay wherever they were. Oh, no, that's silly. Let's put this guy with the shaken guy. The other commander can stay where he is. Or actually, no, let's put him with the company that's about to charge into some guns. All right, next let's try to get this company up adjacent to these Germans. Time. Oh, 1 space from a counterattack. You know what the heck? I want to just advance, so let's roll a red die instead of yellow. Nice, 2. So it'll get me right where I wanted to be. And we get lucky, we get a useless one. A German defense network for Fox means that every German in cover that had an incoming fire token would discard one, but they're fine. And what the hey, I want to give the 2 dice bonus, so let's try to roll the yellow now. And hey, we can move this camera up. Nobody's in the water anymore. There we go. Look at that beautiful view of the action. All right, yellow before black. Nice, 1 and a ranger. Right into prime flanking position. Oh, we get another heroic action? Let's see, who do we want to be a hero? Let's have our 6 guys back here. They're going to have to fight in a little bit. Okay, we will stop there because they can consolidate this back up to them. Hooray. Now let's have these guys charge up to defeat them and then hopefully help those guys against them. You know, I kind of like that. Let's roll the red die to hopefully get a big advance over the barbed wire. Or we can get a shaken result. All right, well, I'm going to go yellow next. Okay, 1 and a damage. That's not actually enough to advance. Let's go green now, I guess. Okay, 1 and a damage again. So that'll get us over the barbed wire, but we are going to stop there. And then instead of moving up our rally point, since it's only 1 behind us, we'll just get rid of the shaken result. And now it seems like as good of a time as any for our commander to have us open fire. This guy, unfortunately, can't see anyone. But these guys can all gang up on him if they want to. See how he does first, since he can only shoot there. No, actually, he can't shoot at all, because it's 4, -1, -1. I could flip the commander for +1, but that's kind of silly. Let's have them shoot. They'll go down to 2. Nothing. And they'll do the same. Nice. So they are injured for whenever I get over there. All right, and last one's in Fox. Let's go yellow first this time. 1 and a German. Oh, an assault on easy company. Now, the first part of an assault is any grenadiers will move up to 2 spaces up and try to get into close combat, but we don't have any because they only get placed by the counterattack generally. And any machine gunners will move up 1 if they don't have line of sight, but that doesn't apply here. But the last part of resolving an assault is you do move the counterattack up 1, which means it has reached it, will have a counterattack, and then this gets flipped over to the second counterattack and ticks up again. You can have it before in the game. And the first counterattack always hits Fox, and how it works is we randomly draw 3 grenadiers and 1 machine gun from our supply. We shuffle them all up, then we randomly put 1 token each in front of each of the units, 2 spaces in front, and if it's occupied, they just go 1 further back. So we got a 4 grenadier here, a 4 grenadier here, a 4 here, or no, actually there. And a 4-2 machine gun here, yuck. So that was fun. We've used a yellow. Let's go for a red and see if we can actually charge into combat. Oh, man. You know, they're actually going to consolidate here then. They won't bring their rally point up yet, even though they are in danger, but they're going to get rid of the shaken they just rolled. All right, let's go to dog again. And let's have these guys go first, because this guy's already flanked. Let's capture those guns. And since I need 2 advances anyway, even though it hasn't been working out too great for me, I'm going to roll the red die first. Oh, wait, do I have commander? Yes, I do. And the commanders can have you reroll if they're in an adjacent space as well. So we're going to reroll that. And, okay, just get 1, but we got a ranger chit. So letting Fox Company open fire, no low ammo yet. And let's see, let's keep on trying to kill these guys first, so they'll shoot at them. Although, you know, we can get a better attack on the grenadiers because they have no cover. So let's do 3 on them. Just pinned. And then 3 on them again. And yeah, okay, not really doing anything. All right, we've got 1 advance. Let's try to get another. There we go, but then we'll have a German chit after the combat. See if these guys are even still alive. Ooh, 1 hit and a crit. Oh, and sorry, I should look at the guns now. So I get to randomly flip one of them from the crit. Oh, nice, we got a gun. This is our first one. This is the big victory points right here. We still reveal the other one. Ooh, it's another gun. So if we defeat these guys, we get to destroy that. And that did a hit to them, so they are down to 1 strength. Well, they're still in defensive terrain, so they'll have 2 dice, and we'll have 4, plus double bonus from the flanking. We'll have 6 dice. There are only 5 in the game. I'll just roll an extra 1. That's 1 damage. They're doing 1 damage to us, and half a damage, and a retreat. Okay. Oh, that's right. The 1 damage will be enough, so they're defeated. We do go down to 7, but bam, we've got a second gun. That's fabulous. And I think we'll stop there and bring up our rally point. Now let's see if these guys can make it anywhere. They'll go a little more slowly. Okay, 1 and a hit. And again, they could get rid of the shaken, but let's go for it. They got their heroic action to reroll if they get something terrible. Ooh, 1 and a ranger, okay. And as for dog company open fire, can they? I guess this guy can shoot at them, but because they're in cover, they won't actually do anything. Oh, these guys are rolling 4, so that would be 2 against the machine gun since they're not in cover. That's 1 damage, nice. And yeah, nobody else can really hit anybody. Oh wait, these guys have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No cover, yes. Silly as it seems. Ha! Okay, did it. All right, these guys are still heroes. Let's go for the red die. 1 and a damage, heck yes. Now if we go for the black die, we have a chance of getting rid of the shaken straight up. Let's do it, although, man, that's a bad idea. There's a machine gun right there, which means we would take, what, the full distance, we take 3 damage. Never mind, we're going to stop there and consolidate. Yeah, that's the smarter thing, and we will stay shaken, but bring that up. All right, now it's just these guys charging up. Let's have the more important one go first. He'll go kind of cautiously. 1. Leave us so much life, why do we care? Sure, he'll be fine. Ooh, 2 more points on the counterattack. All right, he can go farther, come on. 1 and a damage, nice. And then I guess he'll consolidate just to stay safe. And last guy, you know, let's just stop where we are since he was ahead anyway and heal up to 6. All right, finally, easy company. Can we finally get in and take that bunker? Let's have these guys go first and try to advance into the obstacle and get the flanking fire. So we'll have them do a red first. Oh no, shaken? That's okay, they can still take it. Let's go for a yellow. Okay, 1 and a damage. And they'll save it, they need 1 more. Let's go for the green. That was kind of cocked, I guess I should re-roll it. No! Ooh, relief column advances. We're almost halfway to the game ending, theoretically. All right, I'm doing it. I need 1 more advance, and I want to waste it. Let's go! Yes! All right, so I can shoot first before I lose things to close combat. But then I will do a German chit afterwards. Could spend 1 to get rid of the shaken, but I'm going to do that anyway. Let's do hasty fire in there. And okay, we just get 1 token. And then we'll spend 2 to come in here. The obstacle goes away once we make it. We've got 4 plus support 5. They've got just 1. And yes, they are done. And we get rid of the shaken, although our rally point does stay back. All right, now my big boys, let's see if they can make it there with the heroic action. Green. No, that's not a good start. 1 time. Next one will push us into nighttime. No! Okay, I'm going to use the heroic action to re-roll it. Come on, be a hero, be a hero! Yes, 1 and a ranger. Okay, 3 reinforcements on anybody I choose, really. Well, let's see, let's boost these guys back up to 5. And these shaken guys who rush forward, let's make them a 7. But I'm not done. All the way. Red. Okay. And instead I'm just going to stop and use the consolidate to not be shaken anymore. Darn, I want to get some more guns. All right, my guy back here. Green. Up in a ranger. Dog company open fire again. All right, so being shaken, this guy can shoot them for 2. They pin them. And then these guys, let's shoot them again for 3 now. Nope. All right, yellow back here. Let's push it. 1 and a German. That's fine. Oh no, an assault on Fox Company? Oh man, that is a lot because remember, they've got 2 grenadiers in front of basically all of them. So this guy's going to do a close combat there. This guy's going to do a close combat there. This guy's pinned, so he can't move. And the machine gunner can't move forward to get line of sight, so that'll be it. Now luckily it's not nighttime yet, so they don't get the +1 bonus, so it's just a 2 versus 4 here. The support will make it 5. Maybe these guys will do me a favor and just destroy themselves. They got a half and a retreat. I got 1.5 and a retreat, but defender wins and ties. So he's hurt and he stays back there. And same combat roll here. Let's see. They actually damaged me, but I pushed them back. So nothing much happened there. Now, pushing my luck hard has not been too good, so I guess I'll stop and just move my counter up here instead of pushing into red and black. But these guys have got a commander to help them. Let's start off with red. Shaken? No, we're already shaken. No, re-roll that. There we go. 2 and a variable hit. They're right on their thing, so it's just 1 damage. So let's see. I think they'll move up 1 and then save the next one to get over the barbed wire. Let's go yellow now. There we go, another hit. But they are up there. And then they'll stop there. They're in barely any danger. They'll use their Consolidate to get rid of the Shaken. All right, I'm actually going to stop there because there's still a decent amount of game to play. I am moving the relief column up 1 more, so I only have to move it 4 more times for the game to end. So it'll probably be like another 2 or 3 turns, I would guess. I'm pushing forward pretty well. I'm about to get some more guns. There's a bunch over here, and then all these ones up in the corner. And I didn't talk about it before, but you're also supposed to be setting up blockades on the road. So if you can get 2 guys from each company on the road, it's worth a lot more victory points. But that is a taste of Crowbar from Flying Pig Games. And if you click the link that just popped up, you can see my review of the gameplay overall. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.